This is the Transformers War for Cybertron Trilogy Covert Agent Ravage. The set is supposedly a PulseCon exclusive, taken straight from the Beast Wars Transformers. Was this in season 3 or season 2? I can't remember. I thought it was season 3. Anyway, with the golden disc and all that. Very cool. I picked up this set from Hobby Corner. The hobby shop was selling it for, brace yourselves, a whopping $56. Man, it is a price of a leader class figure. The cheapest, I think, pre-order I've seen for this figure from the hobby shops I've been to was something like $50 or $48. I mean, a deluxe class figure with a G1 cassette is selling for the price of a leader class. I mean, come on. Anyway, let's get these figures out of packaging. And here is Covert Agent Ravage together with G1 Ravage out of packaging, and it looks great. Given the fact that they were constrained with reusing some of the older pieces of the Cheetor mold, this figure is actually pretty accurate. I'm actually very surprised at how well it turned out. I keep saying that a lot, but this one is actually a pretty good representation of the Beast Wars Ravage. Now, you're probably wondering why there's a G1 Ravage there. They had to put in a cassette tape. Somehow they couldn't, I don't think they could have managed to use this mold to turn into a cassette tape. And as such, that's where the G1 Ravage comes in. That's sort of the alternate alt mode, I should say. But he does turn into an animal, a beast. Is he a panther or a jaguar? Something like that in this mold. But suffice to say, it is a wonderful, wonderful mold. Great details. I'm loving the paint. I'm loving the color. Loving the details. He's got those two blasters, those weapons, bearing the fact that he has a ton of animal kibble on the back. The figure is overall a wonderfully engineered, wonderfully designed figure. So when the figure was announced, and even to the point where it was released, I had this impression or belief that it was going to be just a redeco of Cheetor, or a clone or a redeco of the Shadow Panther figure. I could not be further from the truth, because despite the fact it's borrowing a lot of pieces from the Cheetor mold, it feels like a brand new mold. I don't know how to explain it. The transformation, the engineering is slightly different from the Shadow Panther and Cheetor transformation. Similarities abound, but it just feels like it's a new sculpt. It feels like a new figure, a new mold, and not entirely just a heavy redeco of the Shadow. I keep saying Black Panther, the Shadow Panther or the Cheetor mold. We'll get to that in a little while. Let's talk about the G1 Ravage first. So this is the Walmart exclusive, the one that came in a 2-pack with Frenzy or Rumble. And this is, I believe, as close to the G1 release as possible. I don't know, somebody let me know. I didn't have a G1 Ravage back in the 80s, but this one is, I think, a reissue with some slight differences. Instead of a rub sign, they turned it into just a regular sticker and whatnot. It's now this gunmetal gray, shiny gunmetal gray. Lots of die cast here and there. This is as close to the original, I believe, we're gonna get. Now this one is the one that came with the PulseCon exclusive, Covert Agent Ravage. You can clearly see there's a difference in the die cast piece that they use. This is more of a brushed, sort of a Zamac unpainted type of metal. Well, this one is really polished gunmetal gray. Even the rivet that they use for the, I guess, the shoulders or the leg joints, it's just bare and unpainted. Well, this one's really nice and sort of chromed out. Okay, the guns do appear to be chromed the same way. I love the fact that this new version, this latest one we've gotten, has that cassette deco on both sides of the body of Ravage. You see right there, Japan cassette tapes. For those of you who don't know what the cassette tape is, oh my goodness, how young can you get? You're so lucky to be so young. But for all those of us who grew up in the 80s, cassette tapes were the analog music storage or sound storage device. You store music and all stuff and recordings in a cassette, analog, and that's the digital magnetic tape, I guess, not digital, but the magnetic tape that's rolled up like that. So the original G1 Ravage, basically the same one, a little bit. On the new one, the silver paint is, I think it's a little bit shinier than the old one for the cassette deco. And then right here, obviously this one has very little paint to nothing at all. And then this one, let me get rid of that just to show it off. Sorry, I didn't do that. See, it's too bare. This one is, I'm glad they didn't scrimp on the paint. They didn't cheap out or cut costs by unpainting the other side. Oh wait, look at this. This one is different. Look at that. This one's a shinier, I guess, tempo or sticker of the cassette tape, of the magnetic tape rolled up. Here is, you just get some lines to simulate that the magnetic tape. So okay, just very basic differences. Paint apps. So, oh, the eyes, I forgot to show that off, my bad. So the new one has bigger eyes. Yep, it's a trapezoid. This one's more like a triangle. Interesting. Okay, so transform the there you go. He's a cassette tape. He will fit the G1 Soundwave if you have that toy. Comparing the G1 reissue. There you go. I kind of like the deco on this one more, but I do like the fact that both sides are painted on this one. I don't know. Just more reason to buy the same figure over and over. Well done, Hasbro. Let me just give you one last size comparison. I know it's the wrong Megatron, but he's what we got for the time being. It's a good scale. Probably not a perfect scale, but it will have to do. And then you get a backdrop or a diorama of his ship, and that's the cassette deck, where he actually, in the show, he does transform into a cassette, not a Jaguar, not a Panther. And then, oh, this thing doesn't move, sorry. It just, I guess it just goes like, and then he would play that rock music, okay? So that's a chair, the cockpit, and then Megatron would be somewhere here in the prisoner area or something like that. So yeah, the blasters do store on his thighs. Very nice sculpting. If you're sifting through several, or you have an opportunity to choose from several, like in a hobby shop, and you can pick out from the stocks. Here are the things you need to check out for paint apps. First up is the belt, that red paint. Make sure it's as glossy and perfectly painted. I've seen some with fingerprints on it, so do be wary about that. The silver paint on the belt buckle, yeah, on mine has a few jagged edges here and there. It has to be smooth. You check the gold or the brass paint on his thighs. Make sure they're properly painted, no smudging. Predacon symbol. You get the silver paint on his biceps or shoulders. Make sure there's no quality issues like this one. Some smudging here and there. And make sure the eyes are painted spot on. Okay. So yeah, great details on the figure. I love the chest, the torso, they've molded it, the thighs, even the arms. Articulation for the figure, the neck is on a ball joint, but the ball joint is here, located at the base, at the rear end of his skull. So it kind of moves this way instead of the usual peg right here on the top of his chest or neck. There is a waist swivel. Shoulders go in and out, forward and backward. He's got a bicep swivel, double jointed elbows because of transformation. He's got a swivel wrist. Hips can do the splits. You go forward and backward. You got a very tight thigh swivel. The ankles Move up and down, forward and backward, and have the rocker tilt. So transformation, it's a little tricky, very similar to the Cheetor and Shadow Panther mold, but they changed it a bit. Okay, so let's start. I guess we should start with the torso. Go ahead and open it up. This, okay. The arms are gonna go outward like that. Go ahead and line up that wrist, and then it's gonna peg onto that bicep or side of the bicep. So go ahead and do that, okay. The neck of the animal is gonna move up. You're gonna fold those the arms inside the chest. Okay, you're gonna lift up the animal arms. On my copy, they were misassembled. This one was here, this one was here. It was weird. I had to check the box. Yep, it was misassembled. I'm kind of glad that was the only thing that was wrong with it and not like a missing screw or a missing limb or a missing piece of plastic. You know, I guess I kind of got lucky. I consider myself lucky with that. So go ahead and fold this panels right here. There's a slot right there for that tab right there. Let me just give you a close-up look. The tab right there is going to tab onto that slot. Man, it is so difficult to show it off because all the plastic pieces are black. Okay, and the forearms are sort of going to form the back part of the panther. So go ahead and fold the shoulders first. So those slots can line up to that tab, and then just fold everything back. The forearms should line up and tab on the back. And the chest should tab onto those panels. Come on. Okay, set up the head. The animal jaw can do the chomp chomp. Open the mandible. Like that. Okay. And then the panther arms or the jaguar arms or legs are going to stay like that. Okay, and then the feet, they'll transform much like Cheetor and Shadow Panther. All right, and then the tail is gonna fold down like that. It's a little hollow. It's missing that tail weapon, but it's fine. And this is the basic beast mode of Covert Agent Ravage reporting for duty. God, very stereotypical KGB voice. And then the weapons, you can obviously peg them back on his thighs. They kind of act like thrusters now instead of rockets. Yeah, very cool. I'm actually very happy with it. Despite all the hollow areas in beast mode, it looks like a very nice panther or jaguar. I love the hugeness of the torso. He feels like he's a bigger animal. So for comparisons, here is Ravage with Shadow Panther, and you can clearly see what I was talking about. The beast mode of Ravage is just beefier. Feels like a little bit more imposing than the Shadow Panther or Cheetor mold. I do like it. It compensates for the gaps in the rear area of the torso or the body. I wish there was a way they could have hidden the robot torso, maybe flipped it around or something like that, but that's fine. It more than makes up for the silhouette of the beast mode. I love that the rear end is very, very svelte and very lean, and then the front end is just a lot of muscles, a lot of beef. And I don't know, for some reason, I'm actually liking the Ravage alt mode more than the Cheetor or Shadow Panther alt mode. It's pretty well done. It could use some improvement, some tweaking here and there, but for an alt mode that really wasn't part of the show, because I don't know, somebody let me know in the comment section, did he actually turn into a beast? I know he turned into a cassette. That's what I remember. And he played that awesome, cool rock music. But was there a time that he did turn into a beast? I don't know. Let me know in the comment section. I might have missed that or forgotten about it. And so some final thoughts on this PulseCon exclusive War for Cybertron Trilogy, I guess, Kingdom. Covert Agent Ravage. It's a good figure. It's actually pretty well made. I love that they changed the articulation. The engineering of it is, I think it's a little smart and somewhat involved, that it's not too simplistic. There's There's something new to the table for this mold. I guess you can say it's a heavy retool of the Shadow Panther and Cheetor mold, but I honestly would like to see it as almost a brand new mold, a brand new sculpt. I'm loving the weapons. I love the PNAPs. I love the design and silhouette of the Beast mode, even though he didn't really actually turn to that. You get a bonus G1 Ravage as a reissue and repaint. That's all well and good. I just wish they didn't price it as the price of a leader class. I don't know, maybe it's just here in Manila, but you pay almost the price of a leader class for a deluxe figure and a G1 cassette tape. I think that's a little too much. Maybe they should, if it were up to me, maybe the price of a Voyager class figure would have been appropriate, but I just think it's too much to be selling this for the price of a leader class. Some tweaking here and there of the beast mode and the robot mode, maybe improve the neck articulation, put some, try to cover up the torso and put some more, fill up that space in the rear end of the animal mode. Just a few nitpicks, just a few little details they could have improved with this figure. It's gonna get a 9.5 out of 10, a near perfect figure. Very good representation of Ravage from the Beast Wars. Let me know in the comment section what you think of this Covert Agent Ravage. Hit that notification bell so you never miss out on any of my latest video reviews. And if it's your first time here, please subscribe. Thanks for watching.